Hey everybody, welcome to Grumpy Acres, the other side of the homestead. We're in the kitchen today, and we're going to bring you guys another meal stretch recipe. G and I were talking, and I remember a time when we first got married, and we had a baby. We got stationed in Washington, D.C., and extremely expensive area even back then. That was we had Ian in 93, and I think we ended up April of 93 in Washington, D.C. And with the cost of diapers and formula and all of that, same story today. We had literally on a corporal salary, my husband was in the Marine Corps, on a corporal salary, we could not afford for me to work because daycare was so incredibly expensive, and I would have to make the drive to go over to a different base to work, and just it wasn't an option. And so we decided that I would stay home. Well, part of that what happens is you get that paycheck and you have to pay bills first, and then you got to take care of baby, and then by the time you're done, you've got $20 to make ends meet for 2 weeks. So I had to figure some things out pretty darn quick. So I wasn't able to go to the store and be able to afford to buy my hollandaise sauce. I wasn't able to go to the store and do all that. I had to get real ingredients that I could make these things. So how can I make my mayonnaise? How can I make my hollandaise sauce? So what I would do is I would take coupons and I would go buy whatever I needed. So staples would be eggs, mustard, seasonings, of course, and then milk, of course. Let's see, rice and all of that. Once in a while, I would be able to find a turkey on sale, and so when I found them on sale, I would pick one up. Now, at this time, we're operating off a little box freezer, right? A very small refrigerator, and there was no going and buying 14 turkeys just because they're on sale. I had to make things stretch. So I would literally do what we lovingly call, I can't believe I'm even going to say it because I can't believe I'm having to cook it because now I'm going to have to eat it, and I swore I would never eat that stuff again. I'm going to make a wild turkey casserole. Super basic, all stuff that should be in your pantry, in your refrigerator or freezer. If it's not, it's pretty feasible to go and get. The meat you can kind of change up a little bit any way that you want to. I've done it with hamburger, just whatever I could find on sale is what I did. Today we're going to do 1 pound of ground turkey. And so I wanted to go to the store, and G was like, just use what we have here, use what we have here. And I'm like, I'd really like to at least see what the meat costs, and if the green onions, what those cost. It actually wasn't really too bad. And even if you have to get the packet of hollandaise sauce, it was $1 on sale, and I think regularly, I saw it was like $1.28, $1.38, somewhere in there. So anyway, I'm just going to show you how to make your own hollandaise sauce and do it on the cheaper end. All right, so let's get started, then we'll get over to the casserole, but let me show you how to do this. First of all, I've already made one batch, so I'm going to get a different bowl here real quick and get that going. Hang on just a second. This is hollandaise sauce. This is what we're making. This is the consistency that you want it, right? If you guys have ever had eggs Benedict, then the eggs Benedict is what's on there, or the eggs Benedict. If you've had eggs Benedict, the hollandaise sauce is what is put over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack my eggs and separate the yolk. So just very carefully, you're going to go back and forth. We've got it. Now I'm going to place it in the bowl. All right. Okay, so that's separating our eggs. We've got that done. All right, then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. If you don't like lemon juice, don't use it. If you don't have it, you don't need it. You need 1 teaspoon of, some say Dijon mustard. You can use regular mustard. You can spice it up yourself. This is pecan honey mustard. I just like the taste of it. 1 teaspoon of that. If you do not have Dijon mustard, you can make it. Here's a recipe for that. Just need some ground mustard seeds. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Salt that in there a little bit. Pinch of cayenne pepper. And a very important step, we want really hot, 1/2 cup of butter, so that's 1 stick, and you want it hot. You melt it in a pan, melt it in the microwave. In the microwave, you need it about 1 minute. I actually like going over a little bit, 1 minute, 10 seconds, and the reason why I do that, I just think it pours a little bit better into the sauce. So I'm going to get that set up in here. So it's really interesting to me, just the different ways that we've gotten so used to going to the store and buying all of our stuff, right? So it's just convenience. Well, this convenience is really costing us again. Inflation doesn't help, so let's just start learning now how to do it, and then you never have to miss out on anything, right? I always hear a lot of people say, well, I'll just do without. Why do without? Why don't you just learn how to make it? So I beat this while the butter is melting. I'll go ahead and I beat this and get it mixed and binding together. And guys, you can do this in a blender, but if we don't have electricity or we're off grid, let's learn how to do this stuff by hand, yeah? So now this is hot. So this is our binder. So you just want to strain this. You're not going to dump it in, and you want to whisk. If you dump it all in, it will separate on you. If you want it thicker, it'll thicken up. You can just beat it a little bit more, right? That's hollandaise sauce. All right, let's get over to the casserole now. All right, sorry about the busy stove. I've got some zucchini relish going. I had to get all that taken care of. So we're going to start our rice, and I'm going to take 2 cups of rice. To 4 cups of water. Throw that on in there. Put the lid on it. And what I'll do is I'll bring that rice to a boil, and then I'm going to take it down to a simmer. And it shouldn't take very long to get it done. It'll fire up pretty quickly. So in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I want to go ahead and I'm going to prepare my meat and get the green onions chopped up. So this is the ground turkey. I found this at Aldi's, and it was $5 for about 19 ounces. The chicken was 1 pound, and I think ground chicken was at 3 something pounds. And then here's something for you too. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. So if you find the turkeys on sale, grab some and just shred the turkey. It doesn't have to be ground meat. Same with chicken. If you have leftover chicken or whatever, maybe you roast a chicken one night, you've got all those leftovers, take the rest of that and then make this casserole, and it'll last you even longer. Alright, so now I'm going to get this fired up. At this point where it's just starting to brown is where I like to go in and I like to season. So this is just seasoned to taste, whatever you like, whatever your kids will eat, whatever you guys do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sprinkle in some garlic powder in there, a little bit of cumin, some turmeric, and then one of my favorite seasons, this is my guilty pleasure, guys. I really love their brands. This is from Big Cock Ranch, and they have a whole series of stuff, and if it tells you anything, it's a Division of Disparity Ranch, and it just fits here perfect. But this is their story, and it's a family. They're down in Lexington, Texas, and you can find them www.specialship.com, and that's it. So go to them directly. They do sell on Amazon, but they have the same promotions and all of that over on their website. I just prefer to order directly from them. In fact, it's about time for me to get a new order in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this going, get it all stirred up, seasoned. You know, it's really funny to me. It's interesting. One of the things that G and I used to tell each other all the time, I would sometimes get, because I left Mom and Dad's house and, all of that, and I wasn't used to this, and so that way of living, because my dad was in the Navy, and so, but I didn't know that we were poor, and so it was really interesting to me. Garen and I, we just kind of sat back and we said, what did he tell me? How did he put it? He said, I said something, and I said, we are so broke, and he looked at me and he said, we are not broke. He said, we're poor, and there's a difference. And I was like, what's the difference? It's the same thing, broke or poor. Broke you can't fix, poor you can. You can get yourself out of the situation and you can make it easier. Oh, that makes total sense. Okay. All right, so my rice is at a boil, so I'm going to bring that down to a simmer. So I'm going to medium simmer. Can't believe I'm going to say this, but it smells delicious. Probably making me hungry. All right, I might have to bring this back on the menu. Gosh darn it. All right, now I'm just going to turn this down. I'm going to turn it off, actually, and I'm going to let this sit. We'll finish the rice up, and then as soon as that rice is done, I'll show you how to assemble it. We'll throw it in the oven for a few minutes just to make sure that the turkey's all cooked through, and then we can eat. All right, see you in a minute. So our rice is done, and now we're going to take our scallions. I just got a bunch here. There's 7 of them. You do you, whatever you want. There's no wrong or right way to do it. And I'm just going to come in at an angle. I'm doing it here because I'm in the middle of canning and processing. If you're a canner out there and cooking, when there's several different projects going on. Yeah, kitchen doesn't look so hot. So, all right. So now that's done. Okay, so I'm just going to place this over here. Grab my 9x13 pan. There's my rice. And it goes on the bottom. Well, I stay on the bottom. I just put it in first. not layered or anything like that yet. Pot's a little heavy. Alright, then we're coming in. Sorry about that. Every time I move. Okay, now be careful. If you're not using ceramic dishes or heat-resistant dishes, don't do what I'm doing because it's, you know. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to mix this together. You're like, oh, that looks so bland, you only season the meat. Give it a minute because, remember, we've got that hollandaise sauce, right? You don't want to over-season. All right, and then I just kind of smooth this out a little bit. Okay. Put that over there. And remember, we got our hollandaise sauce. And nothing separated. We're doing good there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour the hollandaise sauce and cover the dish. See how nice and creamy that is. Now you just come in with your green onion. Sprinkle on top. Now you could add anything to this. So say if you wanted mushrooms, throw some mushrooms in there. There's no limit. There's just absolutely zero limit for this. You can do a lot with it. Now, I'm going to set the oven to 350. Forgot to do that. That'll be heated up in no time. And then I'm going to pop it in for 10 minutes. And then when we take it out, I'll show you. All right, now we've got this all finished up. Take it out. Smells like old times. This is the wild turkey casserole, and you can do anything with it. So if you want to add mushrooms, if you want to add onions, different onions to it, feel free to do that. If you want to add veggies to it, whatever. This is just what we could afford at the time, and this is how we did it. So G came in, he actually looked at it, and he said that looks like old times. So I guess we're going to go ahead and eat and be merry and fill our bellies. So, all right, guys. Till next time, go live a life done free.
Thanks, Milo.